We live right now.
Okay.
I just gotta send it to everybody.
What's the definition of monumental?
Monumental means great in importance, extent, or size.
What's up, y'all? What's up? I mean, you didn't ask no questions, man. That's what I was waiting for. I know you got something
We
to
gonna
say.
get it popping.
I'm trying to think. Everybody who said they wanted to join.
They just gotta shake the coal off, shake the ice off. Stomp the snow off their feet.
She said y'all answered all my questions.
Wow. Praise be to Allah.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out. God. Because
I
a
know
lot
we
of
got
people
some more
said they wanted to
questions.
join.
You're gonna have to ask some questions to jump start it. That's how you do that.
Man.
Yeah, stop putting it on them.
I know, right? That's what I'm
Right.
doing. Need y'all, man. It's like, no. We gonna get right into it.
Somebody
I'm
don't
just
have no
trying
question.
to.
Is she on there?
She not on right now. I'm
Okay.
trying to remember everyone who wanted to get on. So, just give me a second.
What should I tell Zariah to go on your Instagram?
Yeah.
Jabril said go on his Instagram. He needs some questions. Or Allah, God took roller skating away from me. So I guess he took the skating away from me so we could do what we doing.
Yeah.
This is more important than what I like to do. Because right now I'll be somewhere 1 foot spinning.
Yeah, he's a skater for anyone who don't know.
Yeah, I can't play ball no more and let my son have that. The last time I played him, I won though. I beat that you know what. And now he's bigger and stronger. I gotta talk smack while I can. Because I know how the next game gonna go.
Back.
I don't think I'm gonna be looking so good, bro.
Alright.
I know how that next game gonna go.
Y'all see that lightning though?
Huh?
It's like, no. Question.
You got a question?
I'm trying to think of one.
And yo, man,
Man.
you can talk about anything. Anybody that's on, you know, we want to get this basketball thing going with Tyrone and Nasir. You know what I mean? Me and my man Rob, brother Rob, one of the soldiers from the Confirmation Army, is going to be old against the young. So we going to go ahead and embarrass ourselves. That's a challenge, brothers. We're going to embarrass ourselves, and it's going to be 2-on-2.
It's crazy because that's supposed to be my best friends. They're not even on right now.
It's all good.
Y'all out of pocket, man.
They going to see it. They going to see it. We're going to
Say
post
no.
it up on YouTube.
But
Always think about what is, not what ain't.
when you talk about certain things of the nation, it's
You gotta
I
speak
think
up, 'cause
sometimes
they're
I know,
trafficking.
but sometimes you gotta like let them know. Like a lot of people don't know what the Confirmation Army is.
Yeah, the Confirmation Army is just something that we call ourselves. You know, the Confirmation Army is an army of brothers and sisters who have dedicated their lives to studying everything that was said
up?
by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and because they under so much scrutiny, and you have so much dirt and so much campaigning against them, smear campaigning against our leaders, we have to stop doing what we do with Colin Kaepernick and let him hold the weight himself, let the minister hold the weight himself. The Confirmation Army is a group of believers that make it known that we stand with these men and women. And if you try to you have a tricky person, like what you were saying before, how do you know a good person from a bad person, a friend from a foe? It's because of the way they carry themselves and the way they recognize good leadership. What European? What's up, bro? Or black person would say that Farrakhan is not good leadership? Because we've been twisted as a people. I can see a black man saying that because he's been manipulated. You already know, and we know that black people have been mistaught, not just mistreated, but misinformed. But the Europeans, is nothing stupid or ignorant about the Europeans. So the ones who are wise and the ones who know, I'm sure when they see the minister, they know that his program is the best for black people. So if you find a European or anybody that speaks against us getting knowledge from self, for knowledge of self, teaching ourselves, feeding ourselves, and having some of this land that we can call our own, that's not a friend, that's a foe, that's an enemy.
Here's a question. So a lot of people, we talk about politics a lot. So I know a lot of people say that you should vote, but
Who talks about politics a lot?
Younger generation.
Oh, okay. I thought you said I do. Go ahead.
I'm saying, how helpful do you think politics is, like, or how helpful do you think it is for us specifically? Is that like something that's going to be major to helping out us, or should we just help ourselves?
Politics is very, very important, and it's major, for our economic development and our future. And that's why I believe that they really try to manipulate people to not vote and make it hard for us to vote. They've been doing that since we've been here. But I'm not a fan of just voting for the sake of voting because we have the right to do it.
Yeah.
I like to follow people that are successful. I like to follow people who apply certain tactics that work for them.
Yeah.
And we haven't been able to make politics really work for us. But the homosexual community, the LGBTQ, were able to make it work for them. Of course, we know Europeans make it work for them because they run the world.
Yeah.
The women, have made it work for them, part of that group. But even the foreigners are able to make it work for them. And what I mean by making it work for them is all of these topics are on the table of discussion whenever election time comes around. But one topic that's not on the table of discussion is what's going to happen with the poor, disenfranchised black man and woman. Somehow we only help other people with their agenda and not our own. So if we're going to make, and you're going to make, the youth is going to make voting work for us, we have to have an agenda. And like I said, that back page of the Final Call newspaper, if we're doing our job, which I believe we are, you should be able to get your hands on one of them and just look at that 10-point program, because that is an agenda that we all can agree on. And if we push that agreement, that agenda, then we have something to vote for. It doesn't matter if Trump is in office. It doesn't matter if Barack Obama or Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton is in office. If they agree to our program, then we vote them in. Because the so-called minority is a fast-growing majority. And in this country, it's we the people who rule. So if the majority rules, then we have a lot of political power that we can use, but we have to learn how to use it in the right way. And that's using it to our advantage by having an agenda that we force them to acknowledge and support. And if they don't, we vote them out. That's really what the First Million Man March was supposed to be all about. Justice or else, the Day of Atonement. That we were supposed to do that, and it's never too late to exercise a good solution from a good source. You know?
Someone else got a comment.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "This is my opinion, but I think voting won't change anything. They choose who they want. This is my opinion, and I say this in the most positive way."
And I take that in the most positive way, in the most respectful way, because I kind of agree with you, brother. Who was that said that?
I don't know this account.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. But I agree with you, because when a person makes a statement like you just made, that's an intelligent statement that you're making, because you're observing what our history has been. We haven't had a history of any politicians doing anything for us. You know, that's why we still in the condition we're in. And that's why I'm saying we must have a paradigm shift. We must change this whole regime. But it starts with your own mind. So don't look at nobody else. Don't look at no politicians to be able to help you. That's what I'm really saying, brother or sister who gave that. Look at yourself and learn how to follow good leadership so you can unite with like-minded people. What's my brother's name? They always talk, Claude Anderson. Brother Claude Anderson talks about group economics. He's another powerful leader. But learn how to financially support people that have your best interests, and start with you. And that way, when we get our thing going and we have enough people that think like we think, then we can go ahead and apply what we want. And it doesn't matter who's in office. And that's why I even said Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, or whoever it is, because I don't trust none of them. So it doesn't really matter who's in office, as long as we got that knowledge of how powerful we are as a collective. We can get whatever we want.
What's up, Nas?
That's Nasir?
No, this is another Nasir.
Okay. What's up with Nasir, man? Leaving us hanging like this.
I know it's out of pocket. For anyone who doesn't know, we try to come up with solutions, old heads and the youth.
I can't hear you.
I'm talking to them.
Okay, stop.
But if anyone has any feedback, any questions that you would have, like, just think about the hardest question that you ever had.
Wait,
Think about-
watch that.
Think about the hardest question that
Trying
you
to hurt your
have,
dad?
or any type of question in life, you know, maybe you can answer it.
Little infiltrator.
Alright.
So you want everybody to do it, Brother Kyle?
Yeah, I want everyone to ask every question that they have. Anything that you feel like that can help us as a people.
Yes, sir.
But,
Let's seize the opportunity. Seize the moment.
I'm a pen it. What? Give them feedback.
Let them know they can ask easy questions too.
Yeah, easy questions too.
Maybe that's what's making people not ask. They busting their brain.
Help us as a people. Zariah asks, how can we benefit from this American system to recreate our own system?
I didn't hear that last part. How can we benefit from this American
She said,
system?
how can we benefit from this American system to recreate our own system?
We have to let this car go past. We have to, you know, first of all, I really, if you're not spiritual, I really excuse myself, because I'm always thinking about the Bible, because like I said, I believe that's basic instructions before leaving earth. Revelation chapter 18, where it says to come out of her. This is Jesus talking. It's in red. You get a red print Bible. Everything that's in red is what Jesus said. And he said, come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her sins and her plagues. So America has not been our friend. So it's really no way that we can make it with America under the type of policies that America has laid out for us. So if we don't get some of this land that we could call our own, like the Mormons, like the Chinese people in our country who are citizens, but yet they have their own town in every major city. So that's how we can make the American way work for us.
Yeah, that was cool.
You know her name?
That's Zaraya.
Oh, okay. My little princess. Assalamu alaikum, Zaraya.
What's up, Kylan? Kylan, this is what we was talking about, so it's today. If you have any feedback on what can help us as a people, if you have any questions, easy questions or hard questions, or just your own little input on how do you think we can better ourselves or, come together. What else can we do besides protesting? That's a cool question.
Yeah. Who's that? You don't know?
Kyle.
Kyle.
Yeah.
What else can we do besides protest? Study. You can never study too much.
What will happen next?
We're taught, I'm gonna get there. We're taught to seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. So I'm going to say this old cliche, this old term that we all heard before. We must exercise unity in the community.
That was funny. It's like, no. That was it.
I mean, what else can we do when we get together as a group of people? I mean, that we halfway there. We gotta recognize who we are. We gotta recognize who our enemies are. We get our power source from God. But even if you're an atheist, you get your power source from your own wisdom and knowledge. So like-minded people getting together and having moments like we're having right now, just throwing some things around and sharing them. I mean, look, we have to have money to do whatever it is we're trying to do. We collect a certain amount of money, we get a place that we can meet. You know what I mean? We go to that place, we set something up where we have a treasurer or a secretary or whatever, somebody to hold this money, and then we just keep giving to it. We buy properties. There's no way you can go wrong like that. You know what I mean? We take those properties and we can do whatever. I mean, we are just like the children of Israel was, just like Moses was in Egypt. He had learned everything that Egypt knew how to do. He was a master at their scholarship. Well, how many black masters do we know? It's nothing that Europeans do that we don't assist them in. So if you know how to be better than a computer, like it was saying in that movie Hidden Figures, where the first computers that they made was not as accurate as these black women who were so intelligent that they were called computers, and they were able to have the right numbers, that they were able to the right calculations that put the Europeans in space. If we are assisting them in every form of human endeavor, why can't we take that scholarship and that mastery to build our own world right here?
So it said, how can black people go about separating from white America?
That's a really, really good question. How many times you gonna let that fall? That's why I put the books there. You got it sitting straight up.
I know how.
Okay. It's been falling about 3 times, but anyway. Say the question again.
So you can't see it. That's why.
I don't know how to do this.
But it says,
how can black America go about separating?
Yeah, from white America.
From white America?
Especially since we are all in quarantine.
I mean, we in quarantine right now, but we really connecting right now. I mean, this is the last days. We really have no excuses to do what we want to do like it was in the past. Can you imagine quarantine or this type of situation going on in the 70s, the 80s, or the 90s? We would literally be forced to just sit down and not be able to do anything. Here we are in our house, and I'm asking a question that you're asking from your house. So there's nothing that can stop us, you know? So how do we separate from white America? You know, we have to start somewhere, but we must start off with, just like, I'm gonna throw another question out there that kind of reminds me of that question. I was speaking a few years ago at the Church of the Redeemer, somebody had invited me to speak there, and the summertime had just started, and somebody had got killed, and the whole theme of that gathering, which we were speaking to young people from 16 to 26, and how to stop the violence. It was a stop the violence rally, and the answer that I gave for how to stop the violence is the same answer I can give for how we can separate. You can't stop killing yourself until you know the value of yourself. And you can't value yourself if you don't know or have knowledge of who you are and how special we really are, what makes us different. Just learning who we are will make us want to unite with ourselves even more. You will want to spread what you learn with other people that look like you, which will ultimately make a stronger America when everybody is standing up on their own 2 feet. So this is not a hate teaching, or this is not a come down on Europeans type of thing. Europeans do not ask black people really for anything other than entertainment. But when it comes down to them separating and doing for themselves, they don't need us for that. The Asians don't need us for that. We're the only people, because of 400 years of slavery, that feel like we can't make moves without our former slave masters and their children. So, I hope that answered it, sister.
Oh, it's question for Brill. Oh man. How are
Get
the
on.
teachings
Talking about hard
helping
questions.
deal with everything?
Ask Jabril some real hard questions.
Don't do that. Just chill out, relax, guys. Said, how are the teachings helping deal with everything going on? Oh well, it's been helping a lot because I've known about them since I was little. Really, it's not like I just learned about them. So I think they can help you out in life a lot because me personally, I already know certain things. It's just like to walk your post in a perfect manner, keep it always on the alert. So certain things like that, it's really about life. So whenever I go anywhere, I make sure that I'm checking my surroundings or just everything. It's a lot of different pieces and it helps out in different ways. But I've been using it all my life and it's got me all the way up to here. Like I think that it makes you know better. So they've been helping out a lot. Someone else got a question. Do y'all think all this is planned out by the government? LOL, like the virus and all these other issues.
I can't wait to answer that.
Alright.
Is he asking? Well,
No,
both
asking
better.
me, I don't know.
Whatever the case may be, brother. Let me say it like this.
That's the sister.
Oh, a sister. See, I should have known because it's all about the sisters. No nation can rise any higher than its women. We're taught that. And man, the sisters are soldiers, boy. I feel that you should never accuse a people of something that they are not guilty of or didn't do before.
Yeah.
So we must ask ourselves, is America guilty of doing stuff like that? See? Is America guilty of making AIDS? Yes. Is America guilty of putting crack in a community? Yes. I'm not a corona specialist, but if somebody stole my radio 1 minute, right, and I found out that it was Harry that took it, and then I lost my computer, and then Harry took that too. Well, if I lost my sneakers, maybe Harry got that too. You know what I mean? And why would he do it? For population control. Everything we've been talking about is how much power we have when we get together. There's power in numbers. So what would be the number one thing for this wicked country to do when they see our rise coming so swiftly and quickly? Kill as many of us as you can and knock off as many young people as you can. And that's why I always implore young people to do what my son just said, which is General Order number 2. That's for men and women. Walk your post in a perfect manner, keeping always on the alert because somebody's aiming at us. And since you are the most valuable possessions of Almighty God, Allah Himself, You are his prized possession. The target is on you, but it's up to us to protect God's apple, the apple in Allah's eye, and it's you. But you have to help us by protecting yourself.
Gotta send it a couple more people. I'm kind of remembering certain people's at who wanted to come on. So
Next time we'll have a book with our questions on there too. I'm so used to doing things right from the heart, because I know that all we have to do is present ourselves and Allah takes over from there. But it'll make it go a lot smoother, and it'll be a lot easier if you have, different questions written down. We can always do that. Whenever we have a little moment like this,
Yeah, it's the first time, so of course it's not crisp.
I think it's going to be.
It's not perfect, but
It's perfect enough.
Yeah.
If you just look at the topics we covered.
Well, there's a lot of powerful black people out there, or rich celebrities.
And before you finish, we should have a cutoff too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
But there's a lot of celebrities out there, or rappers. A lot of people want to get into rapping. A lot of people want to be basketball players or entertainers. But a lot of the times, once they do that, I know a lot of people just they want to help out, but a lot of times they really just want to make it and stuff. But when they do make it, if they do, then they give donations and stuff like that. But a lot of times you might hear about a celebrity, they might give a donation, and then it's you don't really hear about it. Say if LeBron donates to communities and I'm in the community and my community still looks the same. So if you were to quote unquote make it, what's the best way to help out your people?
We so late in the game, son, that again you have to help somebody that is already known. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and all the things that he has already done, that's well known by every black and white person in this country and in the world. So if you really want to donate, you're going to have to, find some kahunas, excuse the expression, and support good leadership that might not be so politically correct. See, the thing is, when you get these contracts, we're living in hell.
Yeah.
White man's heaven is a black man's hell. And we're living in that hell, so he won't allow you to make it out of hell into heaven. Once you appear to look like you're in heaven, you're still a second-class citizen. And that's why he puts contracts in place, that when you get your money, he'll have a contract to say that you can't donate to certain organizations. He'll have something where he lays it out and with the smear campaign, saying that Minister Farrakhan is a racist or a hater, and if you give to that, you must be a racist or a hater. Right now, they're calling Charlemagne the God a racist because he got on Channel 10. It was the Lester Hawks show. And this man made perfect sense talking about the Day of Atonement, talking about white supremacy, and talking about how it's a paradigm shift where everybody is starting to recognize that the black man and woman is going to be the new leaders of this world. So they called him a racist because he gave facts. So if you keep allowing them to define who you are and what you do, you might as well hang it up. There's no reason to even try, because you're looking for approval. You're looking for approval from your enemy. Why would the enemy approve of us doing anything good for ourselves? I'm gonna tell you what the enemy will do. The enemy will approve Megan Thee Stallion if she's calling herself a savage. I mean, I love my people regardless of whatever they're doing. I'm not perfect myself, but I want to make this point before we move on. The enemy will promote Megan Thee Stallion calling herself a savage. The enemy will promote Cardi B doing anything that ain't right, but when Cardi B want to do something good and say she wants to be a better role model for children, now Cardi B is the most horrible woman out there. But if she was a dancer, you know what I mean, and she's promoting that lifestyle, no offense to the dancers, our people in this country, we do all kind of things to get by. So I'm not knocking none of that. I'm just looking at the beast that likes to use our weaknesses against us. So when that sister did what she was doing to get where she's at, they promoted the thing that she was doing that wasn't so positive. But once she started talking about being positive, now they don't back Cardi B. You know? Same thing with Nicki Minaj. When she was looking for a cutie with a big old ghetto booty, the song that she gave with Usher, they were promoting Nicki Minaj. But Nicki is so wise and smart, I believe. She was able to see after they tried to put her with Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, and it was nothing positive. Nicki retired, I believe, didn't she?
Yeah.
Who retires when they're on top? Who retires from making a lot of money? I just believe she didn't want to go with their system anymore.
Yeah. I don't want to miss no comments. Someone said, "You are doing great. Love it."
Praise
Appreciate
God.
it.
All praise be to Allah.
Got me blushing, man. Saying no.
Wow. Likewise.
What do you think? What do you think about people kneeling together? Yeah, what do you think about people kneeling
That's the sister or
together?
brother?
This is Kyle. Many jobs have allowed people to take a knee in moment of silence for George Floyd. Is it sincere? The person
I'ma
who
deal with
said,
that first
the person
question.
who said you're doing great. I think that's a girl.
Okay.
And Brother
Praise
Carl.
be to Allah. Thank you, sister. But I'm gonna deal with that first part about kneeling. We are so powerful, Brother Kyle, that anything we do is going to shake the earth. We in the Nation of Islam, we're taught to never kneel to anything, because kneel means you're submitting to something. Kneel means you're surrendering to something. So we stand for what we believe. If we in the nation being taught to be good law-abiding citizens, if we were in a gathering like the Super Bowl and the national and the Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem was being sang,
Yeah.
we would stand at attention out of respect for the sovereign nation that we want to be one day. This is not a sovereign nation for all, but we still stand in respect for that idea to one day work for all of us. But we stand at attention. We don't put our hand over our heart, and we don't pledge allegiance to something that doesn't give us anything. So, but even though our brothers are kneeling, look how much attention Colin Kaepernick is getting. This is amazing. I'm gonna let him pass by. He made that thing himself. But it's so much attention, positive attention, Colin Kaepernick is getting from taking a knee. Meaning we're just gonna separate ourselves from what they're doing. So like I said from the beginning, anything we do is going to be earth-shaking, and we're going to get the benefit from it if we do it peacefully. So if you stand peacefully or kneel peacefully, we're going to make our point. Now, what's the second part of his question?
He said, many jobs have allowed people to take a knee in moment of silence for George Floyd. Is it sincere?
We spend, as a black community, over $1 trillion a year. $1.3 trillion a year. This is big business, Brother Kyle. And if you have a customer that tips real big, then whatever you got to do to make that customer happy, you're going to do. So, since Allah alone knows the heart and intention of the people, it wouldn't be proper for me to say that they're not sincere, but I will say that if you're a good customer, a person who's got a business going on, whether it's righteous or wicked business, that person, that business owner is going to do whatever he can do to keep them big tips coming in. So for us to continue to spend our money they'll do almost anything or say anything that we feel like they should say. You know, or
Other
do.
question. Mike just joined. What's up, Leak? Leak just joined. That's my man's rapper. Why would this the rapper I showed you actually?
Oh, okay.
Why would God
What's
allow?
going on, young guy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why would God allow black men and women to be killed?
Wow. Why would God allow black men and women to be killed? What's his name?
That's not Leak. That's Kyle.
That's Kyle?
Yeah, Leak. If you got any questions or feedback, please put in the comments. Like I was saying, and I put on my page, we just try and come together.
And
Old head, young
There you
person.
go.
So
turn the hearts of the
if you
children to the
just-
fathers and the hearts of the fathers back to the children.
yeah. So if we just come together, first thing we gotta do is plan. So
Malachi 4:5.
plan before you make any moves. So that's basically what we try and do. I know that you're passionate about it because I seen the rap that you did on stage. So
Yeah, and it ain't gotta be no extra hard question because we're not gonna get it all out in one day. We're
Yeah.
gonna do this next week. Same bat time, same bat station. We might even get there before. Whenever God put it on our heart, we can do this. It's free.
yeah,
All right. But getting to Brother Kyle's question, why does God allow black men and women to die? That is an awesome question, and I was hoping it was your boy that asked that, but it's all good. Before God allows the black man and woman to die, look what he gives the black man and woman. He gives him Moses, he gives him Jesus, he gives him Muhammad, he gives him Muhammad Ali, he gives him Malcolm X, he gives him Minister Farrakhan. Before death kicks in, because that's a permissive will of Allah. It's not like Allah is killing us. So it's really our own ignorance and our own rejection that's killing us. Because Allah is giving us a proper guide to guide us through this dark hour that we're living in. But if you're in a burning building and I appoint my son as a guide to get you out of that building, how can you blame Allah if you burn up in a house because you didn't follow my son? If you followed my son, you will make it safely out of the house and you'll live. But if you don't, you'll burn. And we've been having so many years of disrespecting good leadership, disrespecting the Honorable Minister Lord Farrakhan, that here's a scripture that I always like to quote. It's Numbers chapter 21, verse 6, where it says that the Lord God sent fiery serpents to the children of Israel, his own people, and the serpents bit the children of Israel, and many of them died. Allah God will allow black men and women to die if you're going to continue to be negative sources that the devil likes to use to keep us from rising. So sometimes we don't deserve to live because of how we treat solutions and leadership from good leaders that are appointed by Allah himself.
yeah. Mike, if you still on, you got any questions or any feedback, just put it in the comments.
That's an hour and a half. Okay, we good. It's 16.
Leak
Gotta
said,
respect time.
yeah, Leak said, y'all speaking facts, bro. No cap.
Go ahead.
Or no questions. Love what y'all doing. Keep it up.
We
bro.
gonna keep it up.
questions.
That's all good. No questions is good. That mean we ain't talking no mumbo jumbo.
Here's something I wanted to say.
Okay.
Like I guess we can end it off right. Or I have two questions and then we can end it off.
I like to do like an hour and a half. I mean, if you don't have
This
any
don't
questions,
go
we'll stop.
forever. It only lasts an hour. So
Okay.
we're cool.
All right.
But I know not all white people are bad, but for the good ones, what's the best way that they can help us out, like right now in these times?
We have to. That's why you see in every Final Call newspaper on the top upper left-hand corner is a trumpet. Whether you white, black, Chinese, whatever color you are, you must take that trumpet that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was blowing and the minister continued to properly and accurately blow. We have to blow that trumpet now, regardless of what color we are. So don't be afraid to stand up for good leadership. Don't be afraid to tell black people that I think you should be with Farrakhan, man. Tell you the truth, no offense to Jesse, Al, and the rest of them, but I think the minister got the best program for black people. See, when you hear white people talk like that, then I have to say that's a good white man.
We have to bet. Yeah, that's interesting. And
Right.
what's man? I was about to ask something else. I think I was gonna ask, what's the best way to like? Because a lot of times, if people hear like a grown person or anyone talking like this, it's that some people just like they brush it aside and they just think, oh, that's corny. So
Old or young?
young.
Okay.
So what's the best way to get those type of people's attention, to have them help us out with that type of cause?
I'm gonna quote Nino Brown from New Jack City. If they don't want to roll with us, we
What's
gotta
up,
roll
though?
right over them. You know what I mean? Negative forces is something that we shouldn't even give a lot of attention to at this point. You have to lock arms and link with like-minded people. A person that's going to go against trying to clean up his community, trying to do for self, trying to make his community a clean and safe place for his children and his women to live in. If somebody is against that, why would you waste time caring about how they feel about what you're doing?
Yeah.
You don't roll with them, you roll right over. That's it.
Carl said keep up the good work.
Say that again.
He said keep up the good work.
Who's that?
Carl.
Yes,
And
sir, Brother Kyle.
Yeah, it basically says on the pen, just try to help out, come up with any ideas or give any feedback. Like the main thing to do to help us improve is just come together. So that's all we trying to do right now.
But in
And,
the meantime, donate to the Nation of Islam, because we're not in a position to take anything like that. All we want to take right now is names, and we want to unite, and we want to just get on the same page. That's all I'm asking for right now.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And support good leadership, spiritually, physically, financially.
a lot of times in our culture, music is like a big thing in our culture.
Yes, sir.
So I know that's like, I don't feel as though that's going to be something that we just let go
No.
of.
We
But like
started
a
it.
lot of rappers like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, and they're considered people who are woke.
Right.
Like,
Conscious.
how important do you think that is to help out with everything?
Since we are so rhythmic because of our melanin working that pineal gland, we love music. And we are called soul people. You know what I mean? Because the soul that we have, you know, it just hugs the music. So, and since we are the people of the hour, the stone that the builders rejected, that's the black community, is now being used by Allah as the cornerstone of the building. Since we are the number one people that God is focusing on because of how much we suffered, He's taking the last and making it the first. We're no longer despised and rejected. I don't know if you noticed, but everything we do, everybody tries to do. They not only like our music, they like our whole swag and our whole style. And all that's coming because the world is being taken from one group and given to another group. And that group is us. So we are the new leaders of the world. And that's the reason everything we do is so loved by the world. So I'll give an example. Ice Cube, and that's a good movie, Straight Outta Compton, and NWA was financially supported by a Jewish man by the name of Jerry Heller. And he spent millions of dollars to make us ignorant as we can be. He promoted young men that weren't even over 20. I think Ice Cube might have been 15 at the time. This older Jewish man named Jerry Heller financially supported Ice Cube and NWA, Dr. Dre and the rest of them, to call themselves niggas with attitudes, to keep us in our place of ignorance and our dead sleep that we've been in for so long. But now that Jesus is calling us out of that cave of ignorance, what we should do is use the same tool that we use to become worldwide people. Because in ignorance, the whole world heard NWA, and now the whole world loves NWA. Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, right?
Yeah.
Since they followed us in ignorance, all we have to do now is do what Kendrick Lamar is doing, J. Cole is doing, and the other conscious rappers. If they'll follow us in ignorance, they'll follow us in intelligence.
Yeah. What's up, y'all?
But music gives us that worldwide attention.
My man's Duel put the 100 emoji. You know, like real rap.
Who's that?
My man's Duel. We used to go to school together.
I hope this phone hear you. I got you.
They hear
Peace
me.
and
I know
blessings,
how my
brother.
phone works.
All right, I'm all right.
But yeah.
I'm old school. I talk loud and clear. But go ahead. It's all good.
I think someone else has a question.
Black people working it out.
Facts.
Can't nothing stop us.
Just try to work it out, y'all.
Nothing can stop us.
Yes, right.
If God is with us, who can be against us?
Yeah. For people like Nipsey Hussle, and they're like, they want to be entrepreneurs. A lot of time when it's like, when it's some people who are entrepreneurs and they build up something powerful from the grain. So, but like Nipsey Hussle, he ended up passing away. But
Or getting assassinated.
yeah, so yeah, assassinated. But for people like that, and it just seems like it's, you never really hear a story of when you make it all the way up to the top and then you're still alive. A lot of times they end up getting killed. So like, if you do want to be an entrepreneur, or for those type of people, what's the best way for you to start something from the bottom, make money, and actually live to tell the story?
In the Bible, Matthew chapter 24, and it's good to read the whole chapter. I believe it's around verse 30, but it's in there where Jesus said, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be on the coming of the Son of Man.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
In the days of Noah, he was preaching and teaching the people how to save themselves, and they didn't listen to him. So they perished. They all drowned in the flood. Well, we have a flood of propaganda out there right now that will do anything and everything to keep us from rising as a people.
Yeah.
So I would implore any conscious, intelligent person that wants to do something for self and live to tell a story, follow the guidance of a person who did that, started with nothing, and now he's at the top and he's telling the story. And that person is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, one of our strongest leaders, but not only a leader, but the Holy Spirit of truth that's in our presence today, that if we will allow him, he will guide us into all truth. Here's a proven stone. When you look at these scriptures, we started off the whole talk like that. He's already proven. All of the black leaders that we had was mainly assassinated some kind of way. We don't have Marcus Garvey. We don't have Malcolm X. We don't have Huey Newton, Bobby Seale. But the people that talk the hardest, because they're protected by Allah himself, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, according to what they say, he died from bronchitis or something like that. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Now, of course, in the Nation of Islam, we believe that he is the Jesus figure of the Holy Quran, who the Quran says that they thought they killed Jesus, but they killed him not. He only appeared to be as such. This is what we believe. We don't force our belief on anybody else. But I will say this, he didn't get assassinated. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is alive, well, and strong today. And I must inform everybody who's listening, the minister will be speaking. And it may be his last time speaking, according to what he said, that after he gives this lecture, July 4th, 2020, in 2020, that's 2 2s talking about that 4. and we represent the foundation. Once he lays this lecture on our foundation, he said he never has to speak to us again. So I implore everybody to make sure you on to that, stay posted, and continue to follow good leadership and know which way to go. You know, for starters.
All right, so touch on what you said. Like a lot of powerful people, when they end up getting assassinated, just like you said.
Right.
So would you say, like, well, as you said, I think it makes sense. It's not a question, it's just going off what you said. I think that makes sense since you said, like, Farrakhan, he's the only one who's been teaching and hasn't been assassinated.
Right.
So you know that a person like that is powerful. So me personally, if I see someone who hasn't been getting defeated, I would naturally just go to that person.
It's common sense, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk basketball, because I know I got some ballers on the line, right?
Yeah, my man's Jabari just
See?
popped there.
Now, if I'm Pat Jabari, he play ball?
Yeah,
If
he
I'm-
tries to. So
Okay.
no.
Well,
I
if
don't
I'm
know if
passing the ball to, I don't know him, but I know Nasir. If I'm passing the ball to Nasir, and Nasir is busting that three-pointer, and then I pass the ball to Tyrone, and he busting it too, why would I stop passing it to him? You see the connection?
Yeah,
So if the minister is doing what he's doing and he's making it, I mean, and he don't talk soft. Out of all the leaders that I just mentioned, nobody talks as hard as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Nobody is hard on white supremacy as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So if they are talking what scary black folks would say, not myself, but scary black folks would say, recklessly, in that reckless way of speaking, but yet they still lived all the way through to tell a good story, like you said, then what is the power that's protecting them? That's the question.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe and know that that power is Allah God himself.
alright. Me and you both know how big or like how important a woman is, right?
Right.
So when it's like a woman, it seems like a lot of them don't really know, or they don't really see like how powerful they are.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people like me, myself, I would see every female as a queen or a woman as a queen.
Mhm.
So when you know that, it's like, how do you, the ones who don't know, how do you like tell them without, with them knowing? Or how do you show them how important they are?
By the way you treat them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of times you can't make a person by talking to them know how valuable they are. You know what I mean? But every single time I see a black woman, regardless of her condition, I always refer to her as a queen. I don't care if she's on drugs. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you speak up to people, then they'll start, there might be something to spark something in their minds, and they'll look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm gonna stop doing this because I am a queen. So you just treat them the way they're supposed to be treated. That would be the best way.
Any more questions? Any comments? If not, we might have to end it right here.
Yes, sir.
So wait for like 10 more or 20 seconds. I'm gonna wait for 20 seconds. No comments, no questions, anything to go on, or any feedback how you felt about this whole talk. That would help out a lot. I appreciate all the comments.
I do too. I feel like this was beautiful, and this is just a sign of our future. Because one way or the other, the hearts of the fathers will be turned back to the children, and the hearts of the children will be turned back to the fathers. That's Malachi chapter 4, verse 5. So, man, this would be a good way to end it.
Yeah.
All right, stay tuned
10 more seconds, y'all. Any feedback how you felt about the whole thing?
to part 2. We should be doing this many more times, man, because our people need it.
Yeah, facts.
This is the seed that's going to be planted to build that tree that everybody can enjoy. So thank you for blessing me with your questions, and I'm honored by your presence. Everybody who was on, tell a friend, share it, post it out, and let's just make this thing go viral, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.
All right, y'all. Peace. I'm gonna save it so y'all can share it to everybody else if y'all felt like it needs to be shared. But all right, peace.